So there's a challenge where white women are challenging black women on who ages the best. Like who looks the best at 50. And I'm not making fun of anybody or nothing. You can't do that. That's a battle you do not want to start.
Welcome back to my channel, Yano Show KE. Hope you are good, hope you are fine. In case you are new here at Yano Show KE, just consider subscribing. So these stories that I want to react on, we saw last time African women posing their photo when they are 50 years and saying that this 50 how 50 look like. So we've seen that some have come out clearly now to speak about the black women versus white women aging, and they're saying that they are reacting on this story whereby they say that black women are aging better than white women, and they say that black women, they don't have a cracks, they don't crack, and the white people, white women crack. So this reaction between black women and white women, who is aging faster. So guys, don't go anywhere. If you have any comment, let us meet in the comment section, and guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.
So there's a challenge where white women are challenging black women on who ages the best. Like who looks the best at 50. And I'm not making fun of anybody or nothing. You can't do that. That's a battle you do not want to start. And I don't know why. I don't know why black people don't age. You know what I'm saying? But if you know we don't age and you age 5 times faster, why would you pick that fight?
I'm broke down, but it's some slight though. I'll be back in no time. But I'm still at TikTok, and there's a challenge going on with white women challenging black women. It's the aging challenge, like what you look like once you hit 50 or over 50. If y'all ain't seen that challenge, search it and go look. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not 50, I'm 41. I'll be 42 in April of next year. But how these black women aging so beautifully, I know I'm not fine. I know I'm gonna be right in the line up with them. I'm gonna be looking like I'm 30. And this time I didn't use a filter. I normally use a filter, but I wanted y'all to see the real thing.
So there's a challenge going around of what 50 looks like. I just turned 50 in November. I'll be 51 in November, obviously. So yeah, this is what it looks like for me.
So apparently everybody is showing what 50 looks like. So this is 50. Makeup only to enhance my natural features. But 50, yeah. 51 in August.
I'm on this TikTok or the YouTube, scrolling like I usually do, just checking out stuff. Please tell me this is not true. Now, and I know there's a challenge going on with the 50-year-old and older. I attempted to get in there myself, but for some reason, because I'm a little bit older, you all just... Anyway, long story short. Now, it's got real personal. It's like the 50-year-old white women against the 50-year-old black women. Please tell me this is not a true challenge. I need to know that. I wouldn't think that any 50-year-old, and I'm just gonna have to be frank and honest. Now, I'm almost 69, and I still got a little bit. I mean, I don't know what to say. I guess I just got good genes. But please do not. Please, this is not a challenge y'all want. No, really. I don't want to see the negative comments on your pages and all of that. So I'm just saying, for y'all's sake, please, let's stop this challenge now, because it's getting to be a little unfair. It's not. There's no, really, when you want to compare a 50-year-old, what a 50-year-old looks like at 50-year-old, this is just something that we don't want to get into.
So, I was scrolling through TikTok and came across this new trend. It's called the Black Don't Crack trend, maybe, or 50-year-old black women versus 50-year-old white women. Well, I'm here to say that I am 53. Skin tight, skin all right. Challenge has been met.
Black women aged 49 through 55 are 7.5 years biologically older than white women. This study looked at the telomere length between black and white women, and what they found was that the telomere length in black women was significantly shorter than that of white women, 7.5 years shorter. These are telomeres, or basically the caps at the end of a chromosome that allow your cells to divide. Once your telomeres run out, your cells can no longer divide efficiently, and this is why we think we age. So why would a black woman, or a minority in general, have an accelerated aging process? We think this is because of biological weathering, which is basically the persistent exposure over a long period of time of physical, social, psychological trauma that causes a person to age more quickly than somebody who doesn't have that trauma. This can lead to more chronic illness at a younger age. Minority communities have faced an immense amount of trauma that manifests itself in their health. If we don't understand where a person is coming from, we can't adequately treat them. We get to the point where just treating disease does not improve overall wellness because we're not addressing the underlying and root cause of that person's issue. This is why public health is so important.
Did you all see that white women over 50 are challenging black women to who's aging better? I mean, according to my wife, black don't crack unless you smoke it, so good luck with that.
People think Asians age the best. We can all agree, white people age the worst.
Oh,
they age so bad. Black people either age amazing, or they age horribly.
There's no in between.
Indians age decently.
Decent, yeah.
Decently, they're in the middle.
It's not bad, it's not the best either.
Latina women, amongst women, age like, oh my goodness. They age amazing.
With Botox or without?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the Botox. But people think Asian people age well. But one thing about Asian people, they age well and then they fall off a cliff. They go from like looking young till they're like 45, and once they hit 46 or 50 or whatever, they just look like a grandma. There's no middle. Like Asian women, dead ass look amazing and then grandma.
Yeah.
Amazing, grandma. Everyone else, it's like slowly, you know? Like looks good, older woman, MILF, cougar, grandma. Asian women is just look great, grandmother. Just how it is.
Not that there's a white 50 versus a black 50. The trend where the 50-year-olds are showing what they look like, saying like this is what 50 is. And from the videos I've seen, white women, you're going to lose every time. And in 4 years, I'm joining y'all.
Yes, you are completely right. I was just pointing out that we missed the lotion memo. I've never lotioned up my whole body. I mean, I do sometimes, but I don't do it on a frequent basis. And growing up, I never lotioned my face until I hit like 23. And now that I'm almost 50, I am obsessed with the lotion. But yes, it's melanin, it's being in the sun. Obviously, we like to bake in the sun and have our skin turn darker. It's genetics, obviously. It is our lifestyle. Do you ever notice that smokers, like, they tend to look haggard? Yes, moisturizing. Because I've noticed over the last couple months that I've been using this certain moisturizer, and I, like, am consistent with it morning and night, like, certain wrinkles I can't see anymore. So it definitely does help keeping your skin moisturized. But yes, I was just pointing out that we missed the lotion memo, and it really has helped me over, like, I just did my face routine, you know, no filter. But thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate the comments, and have a great night.
My dear black people, you have UV protection underneath your skin. It's the same thing as UV protection sunblock. The way it works is that it prevents the sun from damaging your cells so you don't wrinkle. And the darker you are, obviously, the more melanin you have, so you know you have it if your skin is very dark. For the light ones, how do you know that you have the melanin? Well, if you go...
Have you heard that saying, black don't crack? Well, I'm here to tell you why that is. This is a series aimed at people that look like me, but everybody's welcome to stay, of course, to educate and dispel any myths on claims that people with light skin, light hair, light eyes have quote unquote great genes. Because the truth of the matter is that there are quite a few disadvantages. So why doesn't dark skin age as visibly as light skin? This is going to be 4 videos, so this is just video 1. The first reason is because of melanin. Now this might seem obvious, but melanin is a pigment that makes skin or darker. The more melanin you have, the darker your skin is. And melanin acts as a natural sunscreen in dark skin. This probably isn't news to you, but the way that it works is that when the sunlight enters the skin on a cellular level, the melanin disperses the UV rays and prevents burning. So there you go. Follow along for the next 3 reasons why dark skin ages better than light skin.
It's all about genetics, diet and lifestyle too. Also, I think white people tend to age faster than black or brown. What is with the white people shout? Like, must be about my 5th one. I'm not joking, yeah. My lifestyle, I don't hardly drink. Yes, I smoke. I've got a lifelong illness. I don't know, which maybe that's made me age a little bit, I don't know. But I'll say it again, I'm happy. I couldn't give a shit how old I look. I'm just me. Alright? So, move on.
I even struggle to tell people that I'm 36. I don't really want to tell people that.
But, you know, in my opinion, I think black women age a lot better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They look young for so long. And you, like, I just seen a girl on my Instagram, man, she's 50 years old. She's like a teenager, literally.
Wow.
Literally. She's going
I think
viral.
you're talking about, the woman who's giving like love advice and everything, right?
No. It's another woman. I know who you're talking about.
She's like 54. That woman, she looking bad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
God.
Older women is looking crazy now. I don't know what it is, man.
She looking fire.
I don't know what it is.
Like
You take care of yourself. If
Between
you
the
drink
40s
a lot,
and 60s, the women is not playing.
Yeah.
They're not playing.
I don't know what's up.
They really,
they stop drinking. They stop because when
now they drinking wine still.
That's fine, but hard liquor will mess you up. I drink wine. I love me some wine. Like you got to take care of yourself. Smoking and drinking and doing all that will mess you up.
Oh no, they looking really good though. They definitely looking good.
Take care of your skin.
That
Take care of yourself.
vintage V.
That vintage V is crazy.
Vintage.
Somebody put his blunt out.
I'ma eat.
The YMCA debate between that older black lady and older white lady was completely about principle. The black lady, in hindsight, realistically, hell yeah, she could have moved. But I got here first, and y'all all keep telling me there's no assigned seating. So if there's no assigned seating, what's the difference between a white lady going on the left side of me or the right side of me? I cannot believe the caucasity of these people. The white people over here in her face cussing. They over here sticking out the middle finger like this and then sticking their tongue out. If she would have didn't even answer that, they would have been had that lady escorted out. It became about race when they started sending in black people to try to reconcile with me because I guess they felt like the lady was going to feel like, let me see somebody that looks like me so they can tell me to move. Then when she kept calling them out on it, they kept saying there's nothing about race. It became more about race when you said you was going to call the police. I'm not being irate. I was so damn happy she kept her composure because they really could not call her angry or aggressive. And then my favorite part is when she checked her husband because her husband came and tried to reconcile too. He said, baby, you got to go home with me. This is a principle thing. This is like, you stay out of it. People might not understand, but the situation, yes, it was small, but the principle would be way bigger. If you think about it, the same principles that our ancestors stood on got us the same type of small liberties that we have now. Because if we didn't do that back then, we wouldn't even, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. And let this be a lesson to everybody else. You don't have to be aggressive to get your point across. She literally kept her composure so they could not call her anything else but a black woman that wants to be complicated. But whole time it's not that.
So I'm just going to accept this because I won't be 80 no more.
Well, you'll be 80 plus. Yeah,
I think some white girls cannot fathom that a girl who's not white can be considered prettier than them.
I have a meeting in like 15 minutes, so I'm gonna make this quick. But basically yesterday I went to Safeway to get my mom some flowers for Mother's Day. And they had like this little station where this lady was like, you know, wrapping up the flower bouquets, making them like cute and stuff. And my dad was throwing a barbecue, so I was like picking up corn. So I was like in the produce section, and then I went to the flowers. And the whole time there was like this white lady who had to have been like in her 30s maybe. I don't know what she was. But she kept staring at me like up and down, like giving me dirty looks, like it was so obvious to the point where I was uncomfortable. And I kind of just brushed it off. I'm like, okay, like maybe I just look good. I don't know. Fucking, I know I did. This is literally what I was wearing, right? Like just some yoga pants, jacket, whatever the fuck. So then I'm in line waiting for my bouquet to be made. I had like 3 bunches of like lilies, and I'm just like standing in line, minding my business on my phone. And she's in front of me, and her boyfriend's there. And her boyfriend's like this like skinny like Latino guy, right? And they're both just sitting there, and mind you, like, no offense to them, but they're not like, they weren't like an attractive couple. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to be mean at all. But basically the entire time in the line, this bitch keeps looking at me like back and forth. Like, I'm just literally on my phone, I'll catch her like looking at me. And like, you know when you can tell someone's looking at you like through your like rear view, blind side, whatever the fuck. So I'm looking at my phone, and she's staring at me for like 15 seconds. I'm just on my phone, and then I finally look up, and then she looks at me, rolls her eyes, and looks away. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck is your problem? And then like multiple times, like even when I was getting corn, even when I was getting like my flowers, she would like be near me, and then she would start aggressively making out with her boyfriend while like looking at me. Like, she would look at me, then like grab her boyfriend, like bring him in, and like start making out with him. And it wasn't like a cute little kiss. Like, I'm not a big PDA person, neither is my boyfriend, so we don't really make out in public unless we're like fucking blacked out. But like, it was like tongue. I heard everything, and I was like, there's hella people at Safeway, it's Mother's Day, people are getting last minute flowers. Like, people were even looking, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with her? But yeah, I just thought that was so fucking weird. And it's like, her boyfriend, like, I didn't even see him looking at me. Like, he didn't try to talk to me. Like, I don't even think he noticed that I was there. So it was like, she was just projecting her insecurity for no reason. Because there was like if he had tried to talk to me or something, then like I would like kind of understand, like, okay, maybe she's like insecure, whatever the fuck. But mind you, I'm in that bitch, like no makeup, my hair was like in a fucking bun, I was looking like this, and she was just like, I don't know, she just gave off like the weirdest energy. And it's like, your boyfriend couldn't even get my name, let alone my number, out of me. Like, you're so safe, you're safe. But yeah, this video reminded me of that, because I don't know, she was ugly, let's just be honest. Like, she wasn't cute, he wasn't cute. So I was like, what part of you thought that anything would happen? Like, I'm happy for you, girl. Like, I got a boyfriend too. Like, it was just weird. But yeah, I could make like 100 videos stitching the original creator. But yeah, this just literally happened yesterday. Yeah.
My mom is turning 70 this year, and when I showed her the video and your guys' comments, we're both so humbled by all the nice things that you guys are saying. But I just asked her to send me more photos because she's so stylish. But you guys, just look. So here's my mom again. Look how nice she looks in this. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's another one. Here she looks again. I love her mustard. That's like my favorite color for her. So yes, here she is. Love the pink shoe accent. Looks good. I think this was one of my favorite dresses she wore. She wore this last year to my cousin's wedding, and look at her. Look at the shoes. Look at the necklace. Everything. Last picture. I think she also looks very good in white. I think I'm going to make a separate page for her because this is my page, but I feel like she's going to take over. But yes, I love my mom so much. Her and I have such a great relationship. She looks good, and I am very thankful to her for everything that she has given me. So yeah, say hi to mom.
When women get to be at our time of life,
What do you mean our time of life? You don't know how old I am. You forget. You people don't never know how old we are. That kills you, don't it?
Black women, stay out of it. Stay out of the "this is what 50 looks like" challenge.
It's not for us guys, okay? Let's let the other people have it.
Is sensuality part of your life as an over 60-year-old woman? I've been thinking about that today because I've been talking to a couple of my darling women friends, some of whom are still married, some of whom are no longer married, some of whom have formed new relationships. And we were just talking about that and wondering why it's so difficult for us to talk about as older women, because really it's been part of our lives for, you know, in some cases 40 years, maybe longer in other cases. So I wanted to ask that question of my over 60-year-old women. Please don't answer if you're younger, you can answer whatever you like, but please, men, this is not a dating app. This is not an invitation to be, you know, lascivious or something else. This is really a serious question. So I came up with some things to talk about, and I've, you know, as usual, I've got a piece of paper. I know that's not exactly what we're meant to do. Like all the TikTok coaches says, don't do that and don't do what I'm doing now, which is over-explaining. But anyway, here we go. How do you ensure your that you are combining sensuality as part of the healthy well-being of your life? Number one. And how are you doing that? And I've been thinking about that for myself. I don't have a current partner, but I have had, and I could if I wanted to. So guys, don't send me any dating type questions. That's not what this is about. I'm talking to my ladies over 60 in particular. So what is it you do? And I think what I do is I do a lot of self-care, and I do use toys. And I do think about what I need to do and about how I feel about myself in relation to that. And that was what most of the women I was talking to today were saying. And there are people out there that are specializing in looking at how you might ensure that you keep healthy in that way, about understanding your own sensuality throughout your life, from young through to whenever it is we may fade away. I don't know whether that's this Jones generation thing, is that there is an expectation that we will be the same as we always were, or whether it's just a natural part of aging. I'd be really interested to know what you think. I think that there's a sense of knowing who to do that with. One of the people today said that she actually uses a male escort. And it's just not something I would ever do or have thought of doing, not because I'm not prurient and nor am I judging, but I was fascinated by that. And I thought, well, that's just like, she said to me, it was like part of her self-care routine. So I'm interested. You don't have to, you know, give me any private details if you don't want to, but I'm interested in how many people may do that. Because I wouldn't even know where to look, by the way. No, please don't. I'm nervous about talking about this because I think I'm going to be inundated with, you know, things I don't want, but I want to talk to the women about it. So the other thing is, how do you create respectful boundaries, particularly for those of us who have friends with benefits, if you like, who we've known a long time, and the boundaries are quite clear, and there's a level of trust and confidence between us. And I thought that was really interesting, because one of the things that does change with age, and I know you would all know this, my lovely over 60 ladies, my dear colleagues on this great platform. So how do you ask for what you want in a way that requires a level of understanding of the changes in the body? And I'm interested in that too. So how do you ask for what you want? And how does it doesn't become sort of cold and structured, and there's a little bit of fun and engagement and energy and, you know, all of the things that make having intimate relationships such fun and enjoyable. But there was another thing that came up, and I also wanted to share this too, is that there are also those men who are older, who are interested in relationship, who are still may well be still terribly attractive, into their 70s, some of them, but, you know, between sort of late 50s and into early 70s. But how do we be careful that we don't become a purse or a nurse? Do you know that saying? Unfortunately, that happened to me in a relationship. So I do understand that it's quite easy to fall into that trap. And what I mean by that is to look after them because they are older. Because, I mean, we all have to have a different relationship with each other. Yes, you do talk about your ailments a lot with your friends of a certain age, but I don't have to go out of my way to take care of them all. So I think that's another point to consider is how do we stop becoming the nurse in a relationship or in a intimate relationship, or a purse. In other words, we are sort of heavily relied on to help financially with people, which also can occur when we're older women, particularly as successful older women. So there you go. I'm interested in your comments on that. I know it's slightly uncomfortable, but I'm really interested because I think we just don't talk about it enough. Thank you for listening. See you again soon. Bye.
We all inherently know that skin of color ages better than fairer skin types. But there was a very interesting study that was done recently of over 3,000 women. And it asked these women to state the age where they first started seeing severe signs of skin aging. Black women didn't start to see it until their 60s to 70s. White women started to see it in their 40s, and Hispanics and Asian women started to see it in their 50s. And while we all understand that, thinking about the people that we know that fall into these demographic groups and who's aged more slowly, there is a lot of science behind it. And first and foremost, it has to do with the melanin that people like me who are skin of color create. First off, it's called eumelanin. It's a brownish pigment, and the benefit in skin of color is that brown eumelanin pigment lives throughout the entire epidermis, versus someone who is just fair pheomelanin. That pigment only lives at the base layer of the epidermis. The big difference between the two is the internal SPF that pervasive eumelanin gives me is 13.4, whereas the internal SPF of someone who is fair-skinned is only 3.4. It's a huge difference because I don't get severe sun reactions when I'm out in the sun. I have some more internal SPF than someone who is more fair skin. That internal SPF of someone who's more fair skinned doesn't give them a lot of protection. That's why that person burns much more easily. That's why you're gonna see wrinkles on that person much more easily. Second important difference is this idea of dermal volume loss, which is what gives folds, creases in the skin. That happens much more slowly in skin of color, and the rationale is our fibroblasts are more in quantity, in number, and in quality. They just make stronger, better collagen. And radiofrequency microneedling studies done in skin of color patients like me have shown that we respond better to that treatment modality because we make better collagen. It does have a flip side though. When you see a keloid in someone, most likely they are going to be skin of color because their fibroblasts are so much more hyperreactive. So there's a plus and a minus to it, but the rationale as to why skin of color patients age more slowly has to do with our internal SPF and our ability to make stronger collagen.
You want to hear my conspiracy theory when it comes to that? Because I think you're right, but I also think that it's not just the hair, it's also the age. You ever notice how they put a black actress who's 10 years older and put her in the same class with a white actress that's like a white actress be 25 and a black actress be 35, and they try to act like they're the same age? They do it all the time. And that's my conspiracy theory, that a 35-year-old white woman and a 25-year-old black woman look like they're the same age. I don't know if that is true, but that's how they put it on the television. So we think that's true. They think that's true because they keep doing it. And I also see that black women don't usually get successful until they're 40. Until we're about 40 years old, we don't seem to have the success that white women have in their 20s. I don't know why, but I've seen it happen a lot of times. One example that comes to mind is Leslie Jones. She didn't get successful until she was 40. And she had been out for many years, and she didn't get onto SNL until she was 40. And many of her white counterparts were on there 10 and 20 years earlier. And she was a comedian 20 years prior to that. So Yeah, that's my conspiracy. That's my conspiracy theory when it comes to black women and white women not being equally yoked, as it were. Mm-hmm.
Right.